leap of faith.
This is the way. Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Film Optix review brought to you by the Drive-In Podcast Network. I'm your host, Christian, and I'm joined by two amazing guests today. We have Zach Pope from Zach Pope on his YouTube channel. How are you doing today, man?
Good, man. I'm ready to talk this movie.
I know that feeling. And we also have Leo from Geekly Goods. How are you doing today, man?
Hey, dude, I'm doing pretty good, man. Ready to talk some Earwig, bro. Let's get into it, because Studio G, they got some better movies, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, unfortunately, this falls short of this is very at the bottom of the barrel, to be completely honest. But before we begin today's review, I wanted to we would like to thank HBO for allowing us to watch and review this film early for you guys. And also, before we begin today's review, you can listen to our podcast on podcast platforms around the internet, and make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Film Optix. That is Optix with an X for our latest announcements. I'm not going to lie. I told Leo this earlier. I went on a huge following cleanse on Film Optix and my own personal Twitter. I was almost following like 2,000 people on my personal Twitter. And I was like, this is way too much. So I knocked it down to like 700.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I probably need to unfollow Pizza Hut from like years ago or some shit.
Yeah.
Well, it was
get a coupon and when you follow, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, it was literally it was a bunch of people from high school and some people from college that don't really, talk to all that much anymore. So I was like, why am I doing this? Like, why am I following you? And I'm looking, the last time I tweeted was like 5 years ago. I'm like, oh, hell no. Unfollow, goodbye.
Get that, bro. I get it.
Seriously, it was, whew. I was just like, it's time to part ways. So, hey, it is what it is. Anyway, so yeah, let's get into our Earwig and the Witch review. I wanted to ask you guys, did you want to just go full spoilers on this, or did you want to?
I'm good for non-spoiler. Just in case there's someone who watches this or listens and they're like, "Ah, man," I feel like there'll be someone who likes this film. There's always someone.
Yeah. That is true.
I don't know. I was going to say we can go full spoilers. Let's do it. But hey, man, it's your podcast.
Hey, yeah, it's up to you, Christian.
Okay, let's do the non-spoiler section first. I'm a big advocate of giving people a choice. So, for the listeners out there, we are going to do a non-spoiler section first, so people can continue to listen. And then, of course, I'll put in a timestamp and stuff within the podcast description of when the, spoilers start. And I'll give them a little, oh my God, we're doing nice little,
awesome.
like, oh my God, we're in spoiler territory. So
works for me.
So yeah, let's start off non-spoiler. Zach, what were your first initial thoughts of the movie? Because I think you watched it before me and Zach ever did. I mean, me and Leo ever did, but I was.
So, man, I'm sitting there. I put it on. I'm excited. Studio Ghibli film, man. I'm always going to be excited to see what they can do. And I'm sitting there, not, hesitant, because the animation just looks like a Cartoon Network film. I don't know which Cartoon Network film is. If you guys know what it is, you guys know what it is. It's somewhere out there. It reminded me of that. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, animation's not, terrible. Like, the background, the location, the detail to that is beautiful. The faces, though, something's weird. But as the movie started, I'm like, all right, whatever. I really like Earwig. And the film kept continuing. I'm like, okay, I'm kind of getting invested in this. And, the third act finally comes around. And pacing's not too bad either. I'm like, all right, enjoyable. If I had a kid, they'd probably be loving this. And it gets to that ending, and it ends, and I literally jumped up and searched through and scrolled through the bar. I'm like, that's it? That's it. That's the damn movie. What is going on here, man? I literally I was at like a C+ for my rating scale. And then it ends, and I feel like I just got slapped in the face with something. And yeah, not happy about that, man.
I'm so sorry. Leo, what about you? I know you watched this dubbed, right? So you were in
I just want to preface by saying, do not watch it dubbed. I mean, there are some really good voices in here, like Richard E. Grant, Dan Stevens, and
You're good, yeah.
I was like, yo, this is a cool cast. But the dubbing is very, very off. I mean, to the point where like complete sentences are said and mouths aren't moving. The cat character that Dan Stevens plays, there are scenes and montages with him where it's just the dubbing is like they're dubbing over a character that's not talking. So I was like, what is happening here? So that kind of took me out of it a little bit, but I would definitely suggest this subbed. Now, in the beginning of the movie, there was something that happened that kind of felt very Studio G vibe, and we'll get into that when we get to the spoilers, but it had me excited. It had me thinking, okay, maybe there's going to be some references to other movies, because as we know, there are some movies that do connect, like Return of the Cat connects to one of the other films. There's some connections sometimes to some of these Studio G properties, and then that didn't end up happening. I liked the animation at first, but I couldn't get used to it. It felt to me like a big betrayal of their style. Like they just have this style that they've been rolling with for so long. And that's the Studio G I love, like fleshing out these beautiful worlds every single movie. And this felt just so much smaller and so like minor in comparison to those other movies. Was not really a fan. There wasn't really too many moments in this movie that like got at me, that really made me think like I'm in a Studio G film. I'm loving this. It just really stayed so narrow and so small that I really couldn't get into it that much.
Yeah.
Plus the dubbing really threw it off for me. So, you know, I was really hoping this would be a lot better, especially considering that Princess Mononoke is one of my favorite anime movies of all time.
Amen.
I was really hoping that we would get like some cool, captivating scenes like that where we could just really get some beautiful animations, but it never really reached its potential. And before we started, I said that there were like multiple stories that kind of open up within this movie, and they just didn't go where I thought they were going to go. They didn't really open up those stories. So, you know, it plays it maybe far too safe in this case, which isn't usually the case for Studio G.
Yeah.
All right, I mean, fair enough. Well, I was going to start off my review with a little. This movie was hot garbage. Didn't really like it all. Okay,
all right.
Hot garbage is a little too much. Batman versus Superman to me is hot garbage.
Get out of here, man!
Justice League.
I will fuck you.
Star Wars: A New Hope is hard. No, I'm just joking. I wouldn't go that far.
Don't go there.
Hey, we can talk about it. Force Awakens is best Star Wars, second best Star Wars.
Thank you so much.
Gentlemen.
Yes.
Gentlemen.
Yes.
Leo, what did you get into?
Things can be improved. Things have been improved. There have been better Star Wars movies since.
He left.
I respect Force Awakens. I mean, not Force Awakens. A New Hope, but it's not my favorite. Like, there's so many. I'm sorry. But anyway, back to
Where am I right now?
you're in film Optix land right now.
Yeah, the land that Force Awakens is the top tier Star Wars film.
It is. It really is. It is.
I agree.
It's phenomenal, but Earwig was not. I am a really big Studio Ghibli fan. I would say between Princess Mononoke and oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the name right now. Howl's Moving Castle, Grave of the Fireflies always kills me, but we won't talk about that right now.
Yeah.
Literally the saddest movie I've probably ever watched in my entire life. I would say out of all of the Studio Ghibli films I have seen, there's been a few stragglers that I haven't, but like for the longest time, I actually put like Ponyo like towards the bottom. And like I really love the animation and everything, but it's just like the story wasn't like really there, but like this is worse than Ponyo. And that's like
I like Ponyo though.
Me too. That was
Let me
actually
say
one of
this.
my top 5.
To this date, I've never seen a bad Studio Ghibli film until now.
yeah, I can't say Ponyo's bad, but it's just lower ranked for me.
I want to put this. I think this is very much for kids. This is the kiddiest film that they've done yet. This is very much like if I was 5, I would love this film. I love the movie. I think the biggest issue I have with this film is the story. The story is the biggest issue. I think the character of Earwig is actually really cool. I think she's a great character, and I love her charisma, how charming she is, and just like how her is. And even the purple bitch, I didn't mind her either. She was fine. She was just a bitch. The cat was cool. I was fine with the cat. What was the demon guy? The Mandrake.
Yeah, the
cool.
Mandrake. Yeah.
I loved all that. The biggest issue, again, is just character development for everyone. The story, there was no story. By the time the film ended, it felt like the story was just starting. And that's the biggest issue. It's like the second act is completely repetitive. And then it finally kicks in that she's getting what she wants, and then it ends, and I'm like, so are we getting a sequel? Like, that's where I ended with. I'm like, I didn't think this was getting a sequel. And why would we get a sequel for this? It felt like this is, honestly, should have been a show. Could have been a 15 to 20 minute episode show from Studio Ghibli for kids. And I think it would have worked.
A mini-series, if you will.
Yes.
I would even I would even say, kids, go watch Ponyo. Don't watch this.
Do not watch this movie.
No, like, if you're a parent who's like, I'm going to show my kid this movie, you hate your kid. You hate your kid.
Or you want your kid to do chores. Like, you're just like, well, you know what? You're going to see when you can't get what you want, you better do them chores.
Yeah.
Show them this movie.
Well, I mean, if you want to serve it as like an electronic babysitter, I guess you could do that, but it's...
And I'll say this. There's worse animated films out there, but like coming off of Studio Ghibli, you expect at least...
I expect high quality.
I expect high quality too. And I was going to give it the benefit of the doubt, and I just sat there like, fuck. I like literally like just going through my pros. Character's great. Earwig's an amazing character. I really loved her. I think she would have been up there with actually some of the better Studio Ghibli characters if the film was better. Mandrake's fucking cool. The purple lady, I don't remember her name, but fine. She's fine. Whatever. She's gonna give him worms. All right. The animation, the background, the detail, beautiful. The faces. Not great.
Weird.
Not great. Weird. Looks low quality.
They look robotic, and they look like they're missing that Studio G feel and look.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they're very expressive in their characters, and this just felt dry.
Can I be honest with you? Even if they did 2D animation, I don't think it would have saved the film.
Probably not.
I agree. I agree.
And that's what sucks. I really think Earwig and the Witch falls flat because of the story and because of the ending. I felt like I got half a product. I feel like I got half a story.
I think I got 1/3 of a product.
Yeah, it was made for TV too, so I was kind of like, does that have anything to do with it? But when we first meet Earwig and we see her in the orphanage, very much reminded me of Kiki. Like, had this Kiki's delivery service vibe to it, because I was like, okay, she's very charming, charismatic, and I could follow her as a character. She's cool, she's captivating, but then we get to the actual her home, and I'm like, okay, are we gonna do some magic? We're gonna do some spells? Is she gonna fly on a broomstick? Like, what's gonna happen?
And do you guys know the last time we got a Studio Ghibli film?
It was
17 or 18.
I'm looking at it right now. No.
2014.
Yep, he got it. Christian got it. It's when Marnie was there.
That's what it was. Yeah, that's
now,
what
can we just say this though? Let's be excited because the next film is How Do You Live by Hayao Miyazaki. 2023.
2023.
I'm down for that.
2 years. Okay, all right, man. 2 years, whatever. Is it CGI? Do we know?
Word.
No word.
No word.
Please,
no word.
Like, it just makes them look so robotic in the face.
He came out of retirement for this film, though.
Okay, so I don't think it'll be. There's no way. There's no way it's going to be 3D animation.
As of right now, only 36 minutes of the film are done. Oh, it's hand drawn. It's hand drawn. It's hand drawn. We are still hand drawing everything.
Thank
but
God.
It takes more time to film because we're drawing more frames.
That's good.
See, this had to be like we were talking before, Zach, and you said this was probably a studio decision. This had to be one because it's a made-for-TV film. It's all in 3D. It's not Studio G. This had to have been somebody was like, you know what? We drew up this concept. We got to get this out just to have something and something on TV. Roll it out on this TV station, and we can keep on moving with the Miyazaki.
Feels like something that would have debuted on Cartoon Network.
This feels like it should have been on Cartoon Network or like Nickelodeon, just like a daytime movie that like nobody's ever heard of.
I'm almost just like, forget this movie entirely.
Like
it's something that like it sucks because on one hand, again, I can see what they were going for. I see that, hey, let's try something different, and I can't express enough. The animation is not the bad thing about this film. Like it's in the mixed category for me. I have an issue with the freaking story. That's
the entire second and third act. The entire second and third act goes absolutely nowhere. And it's like, you think, but when you're in that second act and you're kind of following her through the story, you kind of feel like, okay, this has to lead somewhere. Like this has to be going toward maybe her using more magic, maybe her exploring another city or another place. And it doesn't. It just stumbles and it falls right back into the same loop it's doing.
Yeah, and I think we should, we gotta get the spoilers.
Okay, all right.
We got to.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to head into spoiler territory.
Should we give our grade before the spoilers?
Yeah, go ahead and give your guys' grade.
I'd honestly give it a D+. I looked at this film as being, can I give it a C? But I just that story, man, just disappointed me. It sucks. It really sucks. I wish I could give this film a higher grade. I never go into a film thinking anything should be below a C. And I'll give this credit to the animators. I think he did a good job. It was different, but the writing was the biggest issue. Whoever's decision was to end the film like that, no, that was a no. Because I'll give you this: if the film continued and the story, because right as the film ended, which we'll talk about that ending, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be great. And
Nope.
All right, Leo, what about you? What's your score?
Oh man, well, 2 out of 5 stars for me, man.
Ooh, he's going to letterbox grading.
I really did not like this movie. And you know, I seen the poster, I seen the picture with her with the microphone, and I was
doesn't
like, okay,
have it
are we
at all.
going to get into music, or
doesn't happen
like,
at
is
all.
she gonna join a band? Nothing happens. Like Zach said, the biggest problem is the writing, and the story just goes nowhere. You got this band that is built in the film, kind of close to the end of the movie, actually, but you got this cool little tune that plays throughout the movie, and it makes you think, like, okay, is she going to discover the band, or is the band maybe going to get back together? Like, what's going to happen? Doesn't happen. Oh, she's asking the witch if she can do some spells, if she could teach her some spells. Doesn't get taught the spells. She figures out the Mandrake is a writer, so maybe something happens with the Mandrake and we figure out more about him. Doesn't happen. It's literally every single corner they turn. There was an interesting concept that they could have played with, they could have expanded on, and it just goes absolutely nowhere. And I'm like, okay, how many times are you going to like call this cat Custard? That was annoying as hell to me. And I know that's being nitpicky, but it's like, okay, after knowing this cat for months on end, you still calling him the wrong name?
Yeah.
Like, that was just getting on my nerves a little bit. And I know that's being nitpicky, but to me, it just, the interaction with the characters didn't really work too well either, because it just didn't grow. It was just like a tree that was stagnant. Like, you're watering it and watering it and watering it, and nothing happens. It just stays where it's at.
Yeah.
So if they had just taken the opportunity to expand on more of that stuff, man, it would have felt like a Studio G movie. And that's what they do so well. Their stories, they make these worlds, every single story, just like Pixar, and they do an excellent job with it. But this here it was a stagnant little world, just stuck in one little house.
Literally. Yeah, so for me, I guess, before we get into spoilers, would be, so he did, ooh, wow. So we usually do like out of 100 here on the podcast, but I'll do, I'm going to give this like a 40 out of 100.
That's where I go, bro.
So that's in the F range. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to dive heavily into spoilers for a little bit here. So, you have been warned. You have been warned, ladies and gentlemen. So, let the flies fall out. You know, let it all hang out. So
let's talk about the ending.
Yeah. So mainly just the ending. Yeah.
So you build up this damn story, right? You build up the whole thing saying, hey, this mom dropped her off at this orphanage. I'm gonna come back for you. Then this other bitch who used to be a part of also the band that she was a part of.
Gained a lot of
We don't
weight.
know why the witches were chasing her whatsoever. We never find that out. But you know, she's with that pudgy kid or whatever, the her best friend. I don't remember the fuck his name. And he's, you know, afraid to go into the house, blah, blah. Earwig's got everything that she could ever want now. Opens the door, and it's her best friend and the lady who left her. And the film fucking ends. How?
That's literally it. That's it. That's it.
I asked one of my friends who enjoyed the film, and I asked him, how did you like that ending? How? And he was like, oh, well, like, aren't they just gonna... I'm like, but I don't want a fucking sequel. Like,
No.
I don't plan on watching it.
No, not at all.
And I think that was one big problem too, is like the mother that did drop her off, that was such a cool sounding storyline. It's like, oh, she's getting chased by these witches. Like, hey, are we going to be able to maybe follow her a little as well? Like, are we going to get more of her? And I was talking before the stream, her hair came off in like some kind of spell, it looked like, and it looked, those worms that formed out of her hair looked like the Princess Mononoke curse mark. So I was like, okay, are we going to see some more magic? Like, are we going to see some more of that storyline and see the witches maybe chasing her down? Nothing came of that. And also to talk about that ending, so to me it was like, okay, did she adopt Custard and then didn't have you? So you mean to tell me she showed up to the orphanage, got some other little kid, and then is gonna show up later and be like, yo, like, I found you, guess what? Like,
It's just so open-ended. It's like, it didn't even feel like an ending.
No.
It felt like the ending of an episode.
I thought maybe we were gonna get like a post credit that would expand on that. I was like, what's gonna go on?
Dude, I literally
here?
scrolled through the whole dub version thinking the sub version was broken. I was like, sitting there like,
Wait,
nope,
wait,
same
there's more
ending.
to the story. No, yeah,
Same
like,
ending.
sorry, go ahead.
Just
It's
why?
bad.
Yeah, I would love to interview Gorô Miyazaki, and ask what happened. Like,
I bet you got forced, man. He got forced to that shit.
yeah.
He's like, hey, man, it's quarantine. You got to pay the bills. We're here.
Because
Right?
one of his other features from Up on Poppy Hill was awesome.
Yeah.
Love the story, the characters, the animation, and then you give us this. It just
Who's going to
feels
see this in
devoid of
theaters?
passion.
Oh, I'm not
So
going
who's
to.
going to see this in theaters?
No, I'll see Godzilla King of the Monsters. I mean, excuse me, Godzilla vs. Kong. I'll watch Kong beat
you already
Godzilla.
said it. Godzilla's the king, my
No,
man. Let's keep that in mind.
no. I will go to the theater to watch Kong beat Godzilla. That's all I got to say.
Kong is going to beat him. I'm literally, I'm going to say right now, I'm willing to bet money on it.
I bet.
It's going to
I'll jump
happen.
right into
If
that.
Batman
I'm
can
telling
beat
y'all.
Superman, anything's possible.
Yeah.
You know what? Atomic breath. That's all it takes
Oh
for
my
Godzilla. He got the
gosh.
sea,
You know how boring is Godzilla
Let me
has
tell you
won.
guys, Godzilla about to squash Kong. And
Godzilla
Kong
has
wasn't even big
has
enough
won
at
these
first.
past 3 movies. He has to lose at some
Who's
point.
faster?
Nah,
Who's
see, he's
faster?
gonna move fast, and then that tail gonna swack, and all it needs to happen.
But here's
after
the
that
thing.
is
I know
atomic
we've all
breath.
talked about it that Godzilla's probably a little bit bigger than Kong. Just a little bit, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, when you hit Goliath over, you know, the whole story, bigger you are, the harder you get falling down, man. I mean, Godzilla's, I'm not saying they're not, Kong ain't gonna kill him. Godzilla ain't gonna kill him. They're gonna team up by the end. We already know that.
Oh yeah, Mecha Ghidorah or Mecha Godzilla is gonna come, and then
Yeah.
they have to team up. Totally gonna happen.
Oh yeah.
But man, I think somebody's gonna be on the floor first, and then it's gonna
It's
be like,
going to be Godzilla.
no, man,
Yes.
no.
Yes,
All right, y'all,
sir.
we'll wait and see. I'm telling y'all.
Oh my
Godzilla
gosh.
gonna be charging up that atomic breath, and then Mecha Godzilla's gonna be like, "Hold on, man, I'm here."
Oh my gosh.
We'll find out in 2 months.
Yeah, instead of like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I was very
But
surprised.
Earwig and the Witch, guys.
Yeah. Back
Sorry,
on
we
track.
totally went off. Yeah, Earwig and the Witch. And you know, we were saying this too in the non-spoilers. I just wish they did this 2D. Like, I know that wouldn't really improve it by much.
It would have made it a
would
little
at least
bearable.
have made it look a little bit better.
I
wanted to explore more environments. Like, why are we just staying in this little house, man?
Literally the
Like,
entire
let's
movie.
explore. And then when we do get time to explore, it's a quick road trip, a quick band. Like, by the way, they were all a band. The Mandrake, the mother, the witch that adopted Earwig were all a band. The song was pretty cool. I thought
What's the
maybe they were
coincidence on
exploring
that,
better
too?
that.
That she just knew. Like, again, there's just no substance. There was zero substance. It just felt like a TV show.
Also, is the Mandrake her dad? Because they
See, yeah,
hinted at
that's
some
true.
romance between the mom and the Mandrake. So I'm
They
like,
get the threesome going, man. I don't know.
right? Like,
What does he
the way
call
I
her
do
at
it.
the end of the
All
film?
receiver?
He calls
Is
her
this
like
a Friends
Deerwig.
thing with Phoebe?
Yeah, I think he calls her, the Mandrake calls her Deerwig at the end.
yeah. So
I
I'm
was
is that
like,
his
I was
daughter?
trying to figure out like the purpose of the movie. I'm like, is this literally just about Earwig getting what she wants? And then it ended.
I guess
don't know.
so.
I don't know. I'm done. I really did not like this movie.
Okay.
It's, probably, honestly, I don't know, man. If this would have came out last year, flat out, it might have been my second least favorite film.
Yeah, I mean, there honestly isn't much to say about this movie that I feel like we haven't really said already. So
The
it's
Mandrake
like,
was cool. Like,
Yeah,
it would have been
he was
cool
cool.
to learn more
The
about
music
him.
was cool. I like the music.
yeah,
Mhm.
Music
I
was
like that
cool
little
too.
single, the little Earwig single. I was like, this is pretty tight.
yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
She's
It
named
happened.
after the band, even though I forgot her name. It was like Erica Wagers. Whatever, it doesn't matter. See, I'm already forgetting plots about the movie. But would you guys, before we end here, would you guys own this or add this to your Studio Ghibli collection?
If it was like $2, man. Like
$5
flat out.
Walmart,
Because
then.
I have an OCD thing where like if I own one thing of a collection, I need to own the rest. It's why I own every Cars film. So
Wow.
honestly, like, and I bought each one for like less than $5. So
Damn.
Studio Ghibli wise, if I got to, I got to, man. I guess, but again, like $5 bin at Walmart.
I agree.
Right. I'm not buying the Steelbook $20, $40, $50.
I've actually
at the
been
first
collecting the
drop. I'm not doing
Steelbooks.
that.
I've been collecting the Steelbooks. I've been replacing my old ones with the Steelbooks. I only have
Would
like
you get the Steelbook for this?
no. I'm good. But yeah,
I don't even think it'll ever get one.
$5.
I'm gonna be honest. I won't be surprised if this is kind of just one of their films that, like, this is really their only first stinker,
yeah.
and I feel like it's gonna be more of a let's push it down to the
Let's
side.
forget about that.
Never happened. Hey Miyazaki, how's your new film coming? You need more animators? Come over
Yeah.
and help so we can get this thing rolling.
This movie honestly should have just like snuck its way onto home video. Just like one of those movies straight to home video, like all the DC Batman animated Warner Brothers animated series.
But those are better.
They are better. They are
Far
better.
better.
They are far, far better. But yeah, I think we said everything there is to say. Let's go around the pod here really quick and let everyone know. Well, first off, actually, thank you guys for both joining me on this adventure. I guess we can call it. But yeah, you guys are more than welcome to come on the pod at any time. Let everyone know where they can find you and what's coming up on your channel. I guess we'll just start with Leo.
Yeah, come on over to Geekly Goods, guys, on YouTube. Coming up, got some WandaVision stuff. Oh, so exciting. I love that show so far. WandaVision, I got to check out Judas and the Black Messiah, so I will have that review dropping at the beginning of February.
Lucky.
And then Earwig coming up as well. Guys, tons of stuff coming up on the channel. I'm planning a live stream series for February, so stay tuned. Come through and let me know your thoughts on stuff. And yeah, if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button for your boy. Now, I just saw the Superman and Lois trailer too, and please, somebody convince me that the Arrowverse is worth it, please.
Hey.
Someone convinced
it's
me
rumored-
watching DC Titans is worth it as well. Or
There's
anyone
some
out there
rumors
listening.
about that those characters will show up in movies eventually. Yeah, I know.
Oh, well.
That's how I feel, man.
That's all right. Well, Zach, let everyone know where they can find you on the internet.
You guys can just type in Zach Pope on YouTube. You'll find me over there. I am also going to start Twitch streaming. Actually, after this, I'm planning on doing the Resident Evil demo. Maybe. We'll see if I can figure that out. But other than that, I also will have a Judas and the Black Messiah review because I'm going to see it at Sundance. I'm very jealous that Leo's already seen it. Malcolm and Marie review popping up. Well, it's already up by the time this video has gone up. And yeah, tons of Sundance content. That's what I'll be doing. Tons
Excellent.
of movies. Planning on seeing 25 movies. So in a week.
I've only logged like 3. I'm in the middle of watching Daredevil for the first time. I put it off for far too long. And I was like, I need to watch it now. But I'm also watching Bridgerton, so I'm like, I gotta kind of, balance the two. But
welcome to the club, my friend.
Yeah, it sucks. But hey, if these publicists want to reply back to my emails, that'd be great. Haven't heard anything about Judas, Black Messiah, nothing about Malcolm and Marie. It's all right.
Man, I haven't been able to get Malcolm and Marie either. But dude, I just wanted to also tell you, I didn't tell you this. Thank you for having me on, bro. Like,
thank you, dude.
Doing the collab.
I love being on here.
Oh, of course. I love bringing more people on, and it's great with me and Devin. Like, it's nice to kind of mix it up a bit from time to time. So, let me sign us off here really quick. And that's a wrap for today. Thank you all for listening, and make sure to check out the other shows over on the Music City Drive and website at musiccitydriving.com. Subscribe to our show so you never miss an episode. That was Leo, that was Zach, and my name is Christian, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Oh, there we go.
All right, bro. I see you with that outro. That was tight.
Hey, that was dope.
We got that radio vibe going.
I'm hoping, yeah.
Shit, that was clean cut, man.
That was clean as shit.
Thanks.